It is ancient human belief that, to qualify to ask and receive from the universe, one must meet certain stated terms and conditions. Only then will you be given. Much research has been done on this, and today, this video will expose many rarely touched truths, and you do well to listen to the end. Welcome to Mind Elevate. Our channel has one core mission, and that is to help you rise to your higher self. Every day we share one special affirmation video to help you deepen your meditation practices and achieve your goals faster. Subscribe so you don't miss out on these life-enriching contents. Here's what disrupts the illusion. The universe does not operate like a transaction. It doesn't tally up your hours, weigh your sacrifices, or reward you based on how hard you've tried. It doesn't hand out blessings like bonuses. It reflects, not effort but energy. It mirrors back to you your state of being, not your struggle to get there. You don't receive because you've earned something. You receive because you've become aligned with it. And that is not judgment. You were never required to prove your worth to qualify for joy. Your value was never up for debate. The universal field doesn't ask if you've done enough, sacrificed enough, suffered enough. It asks one simple thing. Are you being the version of yourself who is in harmony with what you desire? It doesn't care how noble your journey has been. It only responds to what you are now, energetically, emotionally, vibrationally. This isn't about morality. It's about mechanics. Imagine a child on a rainy afternoon. The clouds open, drops fall, and the child runs barefoot into the storm with arms wide, laughter echoing across the field. They don't stop to consider if they've cleaned their room, earned enough good behavior points, or suffered sufficiently to deserve joy. They just go. Why? Because somewhere in their unconditioned soul, they still remember. You do not need to earn delight. You only need to allow it. Now picture an adult with a calling tucked deep inside, to write a novel, to open a healing space, to meet a loving, aligned partner. But instead of moving forward, they hesitate. They wait. They whisper to themselves, not yet. Not until I'm more healed. Not until I've proven I'm ready. Not until I've done enough good to deserve this blessing. And so they orbit around their own dreams, circling instead of receiving, all because of a subconscious belief that value must be earned. But the universe doesn't recognize guilt as a currency. It doesn't traffic in shame. It doesn't calculate your worth based on your exhaustion or your history. It reads your now, your frequency, like a tuning fork. When you sit in the state of, I'm not enough yet, then no matter what you ask for, you cannot receive what is only accessible to the version of you who already believes they are enough. It's time to shift the narrative. Let's say you've struggled with money for most of your life. You've been diligent, responsible, frugal. You've sacrificed vacations, leisure, maybe even sleep, and still, abundance feels distant. Then one quiet day you ask yourself something radical. What if the belief that I have to struggle to earn worthiness is the very thing blocking the flow? So you stop. You stop hustling for permission. You stop tying your dignity to your depletion. You let small joys back in. You let yourself rest. You start to walk with the energy of someone who no longer mistakes suffering for virtue. And then, without force, something shifts. Opportunities begin to appear. Support arrives without effort. Ideas begin to flow. You didn't change your entire life. You changed your frequency. And because of that, your life began to respond. This is receiving. Not reaching. Not climbing. But relaxing into permission. Permission to be supported, to be chosen, to be blessed, to say yes without offering a resume of pain. Because grace does not arrive as a prize. Grace is a remembrance, a homecoming. The old model said, you'll receive when you've earned it. The new model says, you'll receive when you've aligned with it. Alignment is not perfection. It's not sainthood. It's not a spiritual performance. Alignment is being honest. It's being energetically congruent with the thing you say you want. It's being emotionally open enough to let something good land without explanation or apology. Sometimes that looks like rest. Sometimes it looks like joy. Sometimes it looks like saying yes to something beautiful without explaining your trauma first. You are not here to justify your existence. You are here to live in your enoughness. And the moment you do, the field around you, the one that has always held your desires, stops waiting for your effort and starts responding to your permission. So give it. Say yes. Let the door open. Allow yourself to receive, not because you finally checked all the boxes, but because you finally stopped believing you had to. The frequency of receiving, feel it first and it is yours. Everything you want, every dream, every desire, already exists. Not in the far-off future. Not on the other side of struggle. But here. Now. Sitting quietly on a vibrational frequency that you might not yet be tuned to. The question has never been, is it possible? The real question is, am I available to it? The law is beautifully simple, not always easy but simple. You receive not what you beg for, not what you desperately long for, but what you feel is already true. The emotional resonance you hold now is what the universe mirrors back. Emotions are not just reactions. They are transmissions. Each one, joy, love, gratitude, peace, but also fear, doubt, desperation, places you on a frequency, a channel. And that channel is what your life begins to broadcast and receive from. So when you say, I want abundance, but the dominant feeling in your body is stress, scarcity, tension, it's not the words that are heard. It's the vibration. And the universe will respond with more situations that match your felt state, not your verbal request. This is not punishment. It's precision. To receive what you asked for, you must begin feeling as though it has already happened. That's the distinction between wanting and receiving. Wanting creates distance. Receiving begins the moment you allow your nervous system to rehearse peace before anything has changed. Imagine that. To feel calm before the storm clears. To walk in joy before the lover arrives. To embody confidence before the promotion shows up. This is not delusion. It's alignment. Imagine a woman who longs for love. She journals it. She visualizes. She meditates on her future partner. But in her daily life, she moves with self-doubt, emotional walls, and a guarded heart. She's not wrong. She's just out of tune. Now imagine she shifts. She softens. She starts talking to herself differently. She dresses, walks, and carries herself like someone who knows, not hopes, she is loved. Not because someone said it, but because she said it to herself. Her inner calibration has changed. Her frequency has risen. And the world begins to echo back this new vibration. It's not about pretending. It's about practicing. Practicing the feeling of the wish fulfilled until it becomes natural, until it becomes you. Neville Goddard taught this timeless truth. Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Live from the end. You don't wait for money to feel safe. You feel safe and money shows up. You don't wait for clarity to feel peace. You feel peace and clarity comes. You don't wait for your life to change before you trust. You trust, and life bends toward your belief. This is the frequency of receiving. To live as though it's already yours. To stop waiting and start vibrating with what's already true on the quantum level. Yes, it takes courage. Because the world around you, your current reality, will tempt you to believe only what you can see. But the eyes show you echoes, not the source. The source is your feeling. And once that stabilizes, once you anchor yourself in the energy of, it is already done, the field responds. Not because you pushed it, but because you matched it. Let's take another example. A man searching for purpose. He prays, show me what I'm here for. But in the silence, he walks through his days disconnected, unmotivated, waiting for fireworks. One day something shifts. He begins treating the little things with reverence. Pouring coffee becomes sacred. Walking in the park becomes prayer. Answering emails becomes an act of presence. And slowly, without announcement, inspiration flows. New ideas come. People enter his path. Purpose arrives, not from the sky but from the frequency he chose. You don't receive what you plead for. You receive what you practice. So ask yourself, what would it feel like to already have it? Can I feel that now? Can I go there often enough in my body, in my breath, in my being, that it becomes familiar? Because once it feels like home, life will deliver you there without resistance. You'll wake up one morning and realize, the thing you once thought was far away is here. Not because it was finally granted, but because you remembered how to feel it. And the universe, faithful as ever, simply said, welcome back. The unseen answer, when the silence speaks. Sometimes you ask, you align, you believe, and still nothing seems to happen. No signs, no whispers, no miracles, just silence. And in that stillness, doubt creeps in. Maybe I did it wrong. Maybe I wasn't clear. Maybe the answer is no. But what if silence isn't rejection? What if silence is the answer, or the prelude to it? The ego rushes to interpret silence as failure. But the soul knows how to listen. It knows that silence does not mean stillness. Just because you don't see movement doesn't mean there isn't motion. The universe doesn't always answer in language. Sometimes it answers in orchestration, in exits, redirections, and sudden dissolving of the structures you once clung to. A job falls through. A relationship fades. A plan unravels. At first it looks like loss. At worst it feels like punishment. But what if it's none of that? What if it's preparation? Sometimes the answer is not what comes, but what leaves. And if you're only listening for yes or no, you'll miss the deeper message. Not yet. Not this way. Something better is coming. The universe speaks many languages. Timing. Synchronicity. Sudden space where something used to be. The patience required to outgrow the version of you who asked for things from a place of fear. You ask for peace and chaos rises not to punish, but to show you what needs clearing. You ask for abundance, and the lesson becomes learning how to receive without guilt. You ask for love, and life brings up all the places where your heart has shut down. Not silence. Not delay. Divine recalibration. Because you're not just being handed a gift. You're being shaped into someone who can hold it. So the next time life feels quiet, remember, you may be standing in the sacred space where the old dissolves and the new is still being written. Stay present. Stay open. And above all, stay willing to receive in ways you didn't expect. The universe is always answering, sometimes in sound, sometimes in surrender. And when it becomes a reality, it won't feel like something new. It will feel like something familiar. Like home. Because you already felt it long before it arrived. If the content shared in this video resonated with you, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And please share this video with someone who needs to be properly aligned to the right energy that will attract the answers to all he asked for. Thanks for watching to the end.